Well, good to see all of you folks here today. It's almost like we just got done seeing each other recently. Very recently. Like a couple hours ago or something. But here we are once again, floating through space, just trying to make sense of everything. And there is one big thing that is taking over the internet right now as we speak. A cryptic a cryptic topic. The death of Donald Trump. Is Donald Trump dead? I don't know, but we're going to try and figure it out. I've been trying to compile videos and evidence, articles and tweets, Reddit threads, and other things like that. Let's just dive into this thing. What do you say? I got a bunch of videos here. Let's start here with a guy I am completely unfamiliar with, but he's got like 1 million subscribers. Somebody by the name of Keith Edwards. This was 6 days ago, almost a full week has transpired since this video was posted to YouTube.
We got some breaking news. There are some alarming pictures that just came out that raise more questions about Donald Trump's health. Now, I have a lot of photos here to go through, but first, we also know Donald Trump's health is not great because the White House was forced to talk about this after mainstream media failed to put pressure on them, but independent media put the pressure on and they were forced to talk about it. That's why it's so important to hit like on this video and subscribe, because we can get results the way that mainstream media and corporate media cannot. Here is Caroline Levitt having to talk about the fact that Donald Trump is not doing well.
Of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House Medical Unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70.
Okay, so they're saying it's benign, but I have some reporting here from a doctor who has seen Donald Trump. Obviously, he can't examine Donald Trump directly, but seeing what he has seen and knowing what she said, here's what this doctor has to say about Donald Trump's condition, and he thinks that Donald Trump actually has congestive heart failure.
Doctor in my field, I see congestive heart failure patients on a daily basis. The reason I know that he has congestive heart failure is because of the swelling in his feet and ankles. And the reason I know it's getting worse is because he's sitting behind the desk on camera now. He lashed out against MSNBC for giving him hash about his ankles. This is how we know that something is true, because it gets to Trump. Remember recently where he was talking about going to heaven for some fucking reason? He says, people said I'm not doing very well. I don't think he's talking about the media. I think he's talking about the doctors who are treating him. The only reason his health has been maintained at all is because he has the privilege of getting IV diuretics, spironolactone, Lasix, Bumex, something like that. That's why his hands have been bruised and covered with makeup. Badly, I might add. We know that it's getting worse because he knows he cannot hide the degree of swelling. That's why he's sitting behind the desk. Oh, he also has chronic kidney disease, which is also contributing to the swelling in the feet and ankles. I can't tell you how many times I have seen a patient in their home because they were hospitalized for AKI, or acute kidney injury. And the kidney injury was caused by nephrotoxic medications, namely diuretics, spironolactone, Bumex, Lasix. The president is definitely getting sicker, and we know he's not going to change his diet because he's such a fucking idiot. I think he's going to be around for 6 to 8 months tops. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. Well played, sir. Well played.
Be around for 6 to 8 months tops. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Well, that's one person's opinion, but as he said, this is very obvious because Donald Trump has been taken photos of many times where the makeup on his hand is just completely obvious. My question is about all of these photos is, and you can kind of see it there, if that's, like, if they are deciding that this is better to do than to just show the bruising. Like, how bad is the bruising? Now, there's a new photo that came out, and this...
Yeah, and we haven't been, like, laser focused in on this stuff. We haven't really been talking about it around here much. We talked about the cankles at one point. I've certainly been seeing these photos, and I've been wondering to myself just how ill the president actually is.
This is it, where Donald Trump was at some sort of event looking like shit. And here is this photo. It literally looks like wall paint. It looks like wall paint. He is the president of the United States. He cannot find a makeup artist to skin match his hand. I truly am like, come on! Is this better than just seeing the bruising? This is terrible. It's awful. But as that doctor said, there's a reason for it. And it's because he is not doing well. And we also know that Donald Trump has had a problem with his right leg, as you can see here. It's been an ongoing problem with his health. And we also know, we've reported on this before, where
Hold on. I have to
Donald
watch
Trump
that
had
again. What the fuck was going on with that leg? What is happening here?
for it, and it's because he is not doing well. And we also know that Donald Trump has had a problem with his right leg.
I haven't watched all of these yet. I just threw a bunch of, like, there's not that many videos of about this on YouTube. So I kind of was just sort of like reaching on things. But what the fuck is going on with the president's leg?
As you can see here. It's been an ongoing problem with his health. And we also know, we've reported on this before, where Donald Trump had this photo, and this, I'm sorry to make you look, is not the president's member. People are speculating that that is the president's catheter. Here's a little bit more on that.
Whoever took this
what
picture
now?
knew what the fuck they was doing. It's no reason why they didn't crop this out. So not only can our president not make it to number 2, he can't make it to the bathroom for number 1 either, because that right there is a catheter.
What? Don't be creepy.
Confirmation. That's a catheter, y'all. So shitty pants is pissy too.
Shitty pants is pissy.
They could have cropped that out. And we know that's not his.
Oh god, shitty pants is pissy too. Goddamn.
It's pissy too. They could have cropped that out. And we know that's not his eggplant, because he didn't already had the debacle of a girl talking about his mushroom micropenis.
Better her saying
phrasing.
it than me. And of course, Donald Trump is just, there's clear and clearer signs that are recent now of Donald Trump and his mind slipping.
For the Azerbaijan, that was a big one
The great
going on for 34, 35.
Azerbaijan. The great Azerbaijan.
This is the very definition of totalitarianism.
Very definition of totalitarianism.
For the Azerbaijan, that was a big one going on for 34,
Azerbaijan.
35 years with Albania.
With Albania.
Think of that.
Makes
I mean,
sense if you
going
don't
on for
think about it.
years.
So he meant Armenia and Azerbaijan there, not Azerbaijan and Albania. And here's another one where he's talking about the ocean, and it just couldn't be more clear that Grandpa is just losing his mind.
What did the other leaders tell you? Because it seemed to be, this is unlike the first Trump term. There was great unity that was there, and we saw their public comments. But when you got them in the Oval Office, and we have this photo of you sitting at the Resolute desk, and all of these world leaders are sitting in front of you. What did they say to you privately? Because it looks like they're on the same page as you, sir.
Yeah, they are. They're very good people. They're very good leaders of their countries. And they want to get back to leading their country. You know, they're consumed far more with this than we are, because they're right there. You know, we have an ocean that's separating us, right? Thing called
an ocean. I don't know if you've heard of it. Great ocean.
an ocean, a big, beautiful ocean.
A thing called an ocean, a big, beautiful ocean. And this is another clear sign that, I mean, I'll call it dementia. We don't know. We don't know. Looks like it, but this is one of the signs of dementia, and you can't walk in a straight line.
Look, straight lines
Definitely
are
something
for
going on
losers.
Definitely.
Only
And
walk
of course,
in zigzags.
we have seen these bad boys many times now where the cankles, which is actually, look at that, where this is the thing that started it all, where there's clear problems with the president's health, that his ankles look like that. So I do think it's interesting that.
Look, those are presidential ankles, okay? You call them by their proper name. Ankles.
There's all this smoke, right? I mean, we heard from one doctor who basically said he has 6 to 8 months to live. I can't speculate on that. I'm not a doctor. I don't see patients. This person would know more than I do. But certainly there's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of smoke. And the fact that Donald Trump is talking about trying to get into heaven leads me to believe that for some reason, death is on the president's mind. And I suppose we don't know why that is, but all these pictures, the hand, the ankles, the White House confirming that he has health issues, and we know Donald Trump doesn't want anyone to think he's less than perfect. So all this stuff adds up to me.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
We just don't know specifically what.
Yes, what is going on with the president's health? Now, that was a full week ago. This guy was going through this stuff. It feels like it was 7 months ago at this point. But let's go now here to the I've Had It podcast ladies. The liberal wine moms of YouTube. This
All
is
right,
from,
Kinks is hell.
This is from 3 days ago.
All right, Kinks' health is in a complete death spiral. There's just no other way to put it. Yesterday, he put on 3 press conferences in the Oval. And I think, you guys, this is what I think is happening. He is so demented that he's like, let's do a press conference. And so they call the press pool and they get them all together and everybody goes, sits down, and he talks about people leaving their garage doors open in Beverly Hills, people keeping their trunks open in Beverly Hills because people are just like, you're going to take it anyway. Just come take all my stuff. All of this is lies. He lies nonstop. The press doesn't cover it. And so they just keep running in to cover all of these lies. And here's what comes out of this. So Philip Wegman says Trump is calling the press pool into the Oval Office for a 3rd time today. Never seen this before. Kara Lyon, KKK Levitt, says President Trump is the most transparent and accessible president in American history. They're having to cover up for him because I don't think he remembers.
It is kind of demented to call the press pool into the White House 3 times in one day.
That's too much, man.
That he did the first press conference, and I don't think he remembers that he did the second press conference, and I don't think he remembers that he did the 3rd press conference, because that's how advanced the dementia is, the cognitive decline. This is before I even get to the muffin top cankles, which is why we call him Kanks, and these bruises all over his hands.
Well, I think the bruises all over his hands, I think that maybe because he didn't know he was going to have the press conference, he didn't have time to put the horrible makeup on it, because it was marked. I mean, it was a bit, he looked like he was like, it was almost rotten. There were like sores in it.
Well, let me show you this, Pops.
Okay.
Here's Queen Elizabeth II's hand a few days before she died. And you can see the close-up, and it has a...
My God, I forgot all about this. But yeah, this was a thing. How long ago was it? It's like a year ago. It wasn't even that long ago. But yeah, Queen Elizabeth was exhibiting very similar symptoms to Donald Trump with the bruised wrists.
Bruise. And this is, she's up walking around, and a few days later, she's dead. All right. Now let's put up Kanks's hand. Here's Kanks's hand in the Oval Office yesterday when he mistakenly does 3 press conferences in a row, crammed with all of his cabinet behind him, doting on, looking at him, nodding their heads. And I can't help but think that there's something really insidious going on, that they keep telling him, oh, you're in charge, big guy. Let's go do another press conference. Sure, keep going, because I think Stephen Miller and others.
Yeah, let's go do another press conference.
Come on!
It actually kind of, what's her name? Jessica? I think Jessica's onto something over here.
Press conference. Sure, keep going, because I think Stephen Miller and others, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, have massive plans, because you're seeing an authoritarian ramp up right now. You have them talking about taking over American cities. Nobody shit talks this country as much as MAGA does. If he were just remotely as hard on Russia or Benjamin Netanyahu as he is on blue state governors, which are American cities, which are the economic hubs of our country, then we might still have a country. But everything that he says, he telegraphs, we don't have a country anymore. Why does he say that stuff? Because he doesn't want us to have the country the way we've had it before. But I think he's mentally off a cliff. The comparison between the Queen's hand and his hand, and then I think about what crazy ass Alex Jones says, 12 months. I think that might be too long.
Rid of the Second
Well,
Amendment.
I'm wondering two things. What are your thoughts? I was thinking about this because his health seems to be so frail physically. We know he's off the wall dementia, but his health is so frail. Do you think they've put an accelerated timeline on this authoritarian takeover?
There's no question.
Because of his health?
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Like, so let's play the tape through hypothetically here. So let's say Kanks drops dead. All right. And then you've got JD Vance. And my question regarding this is, are they getting all of these cities and militarizing so that they can, have this authoritarian takeover? Because Vance doesn't have the riz. And at that point, do members of Congress, Republicans, because they see that he doesn't have the riz to keep.
Oh no. We're getting into the JD Riz discussion. This is certainly quite a development. When we start thinking about it from this angle, the I've had it lady is really getting in here, but making a lot of sense. This is true. JD does not have any riz at all.
Rising so that they can, have this authoritarian takeover, because Vance doesn't have the riz. And at that point, do members of Congress, Republicans, because they see that he doesn't have the riz to keep the cult together, do they start checking the executive branch? Do they do that? I don't know. I don't know that I know that these people are ambitious. I know that they're evil, but I don't know that they think through everything as well as they think they do.
My thought would be that because JD Vance has been so underhanded with Trump while he's been in office, that there's an argument to be made that MAGA, who are the king and queens of conspiracies, will then start saying, because right now everybody can actually see the kind of soft coup going on. Will MAGA turn against JD Vance, not recognizing how poor his health is?
Well, there's no question when he drops dead, if he's in office when he does, there will be conspiracy theories that JD Vance had something to do with it, or that when he...
I was already thinking it. I was like, oh my God. And then she just plucked the words out of my brain. JD Vance. That's right. He's already been accused of having murdered the Pope. Oh God. JD Vance doing a coup on the orange dictator? Oh God.
In the back of the beast with Vladimir Putin. Vladimir puts some long-acting, handshake. Because, if you think about it, if I were a conspiracy theorist,
Putin or JD, oh God. The potential assassin list just doubled.
Immediately, if not sooner.
Long-acting, handshake. Because, if you think about it, if I were a conspiracy theorist, I could go down this rabbit hole that all of these bruises and all of this stuff started popping up after Alaska. Did Vladimir Putin do something to him? He's notorious for poisoning people. So I don't know, but I know that MAGA will do that. But when I think about his physical decline on top of his mental decline, and then I turned on Legacy News this morning, and it is just like they're covering these batshit press conferences. Like, president signs executive order for this. There's no mention of him lying. There's no mention of the bruises on his hand. There's no mention of him militarizing the cities, trash talking Americans. There's no mention of any of that, which then I want to take you to look at these photos right here. Pop this up. Look at his eyes. Look at his hand. Look at how puffy and swollen
He looks like a monster.
his eyes are. And this is on top of when you hear video of him, he sounds like he has marbles in his mouth and he has no idea what on earth he is talking about. Okay, so then while he's doing these 3 press conferences, Pumps, somebody in the press pool asks him about an Israeli airstrike wherein they bombed a hospital and killed 20 people and 5 journalists. An attack on the free press. And you would think the president of the United States would be briefed on this, would immediately, have advisors surrounding him where they could talk about this. And here's how he answers the question.
Get your reaction, sir. The Israelis bombed a hospital in Gaza that killed 20 people, including 5 journalists.
When did this happen?
This happened overnight, today.
I didn't know that. No.
I didn't know that. We railed on Donald Trump over this one like a few days ago. I think this was Tuesday. It was like Tuesday or Wednesday. And I was like, Donald Trump doesn't even know that Israel just committed a fucking war crime. Didn't even hear about it. Nobody even told him.
When did this happen?
This happened overnight, today.
I didn't know that.
Any reaction to
What?
this? Are you going to talk to
about it. I don't want to see it. At the same time, we have to end that whole nightmare. I'm the one that got the hostages out. I got them out. All of them. Steve Witkoff is...
He had no idea.
This is Donald Trump right now.
I'm staying in the race.
Sleepy Trump doesn't even know that Israel's committing war crimes.
Illegal.
That this happened. Number one, the press just informed him of it. It's his fucking job to know about this shit because we probably paid for the bombs that did that. And then he just sits there and lies and says he, Kanks, got all of the hostages out, all of them, which is all of this is completely goes unfact checked. Is it not alarming to the media at large that the president of the United States has no idea that Benjamin Netanyahu is continuing to bomb hospitals and kill journalists? And he finds out during one of his 3 press conferences / show and tell / arts and crafts hour at the Oval period.
I have 2 questions about this. I could go either way. They told him and he's completely forgotten about it, and or they haven't told him because they know he's incapable of making any decisions and they just make the decision. Both scenarios are profoundly disturbing. But here's the thing. He says the same thing about Russia. Well, I'm not happy about it. Okay, well, do something about it. Do something about Vladimir Putin. Do something about Benjamin Netanyahu.
He's incapable.
Nothing. But I want to point this out regarding his looks. I feel like his orange has turned kind of a yellowy color. And I've noticed with older people, when they're really sick, they kind of have a gray pallor. Put the orange on top, and that's kind of the color I'm seeing. Like, it's bad.
You never know what
Never doubt the color palette skills of a middle-aged liberal wine mom. Okay, she knows her color combos. Okay.
Come on.
I mean, this woman is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen.
Put the orange on top, and that's kind of the color I'm seeing. Like, it's bad.
You never know with like filters with cameras and media and all of that. But he definitely, I mean, the bruising, the cankles, the swollen eyes, the 3 press conferences in a row, like a psychopath. And then he does not know these major geopolitical things that are happening with our taxpayer dollars. And somebody in the press pool, which they've cherry picked, sycophants to be in there, asked him about it. And then he lies and says, I released the hostages. I released all of them, which is a complete lie. And so when I turned on the news this morning, stupidly, I thought maybe the Chiron might say Trump lies and says he released all the Israeli hostages. Has no clue that Benjamin Netanyahu is bombing hospitals and killing journalists. This is a massive story. This is something Jake Tapper wrote an entire book about. And Joe Biden knew what was going on in terms of this, and furthermore was surrounded by competent people. Now, Joe Biden's stance on Israel, I didn't completely agree with, but the fact that he doesn't know this tells you that this MFer is the easiest guy to dog walk on the planet. Netanyahu's dog walking him and has told people in his administration to either keep it from him, or we all know from Trump 1.0, he's wildly uninterested in policy. He finds these meetings very boring, that oftentimes during Trump 1.0, the people who got out of it said that he was just sitting on Twitter the whole time and was not interested in foreign.
And I've been saying this too lately, that Donald Trump is looking more and more disinterested at the meetings and looks like he's sort of like half falling asleep, and that he's already losing energy. Now, if he is in fact having a serious health crisis, or, well, was having, I guess, well, that would make a lot of sense.
Policy at all, which brings me to the issue regarding Russia and Ukraine. So he's asked this question in one of his three press conferences yesterday in the Oval. Play the clip.
Historic summit here with Ukrainian President Zelensky and European leaders all met here with you at the White House. You said you wanted to get this done bilateral as soon as possible. Have you spoken to Putin since last Monday?
Yeah, I have.
What is your conversation? Or can you share?
Every conversation I have with him is a good conversation, and then unfortunately a bomb is loaded.
I think me and GNN and IHIP have been sort of linked up. We were laughing at this one earlier too. This is ridiculous.
Conversation I have with him is a good conversation.
It's like, it was a perfect conversation every time. Every time. It's so weird. I call Vlad up, and I call him, and then Vlad picks up. He's like, "Hello," and I'm like, "Hey, Vlad, hey, how's it going?" And it's perfect. It's a perfect phone call. And then 24 hours later, he's blowing up Ukraine. What is up with that, man? Come on.
Come on!
What is the deal?
Bilateral as soon as possible. Have you spoken to Putin since last Monday?
Yeah, I have.
What is your conversation? Or can you share?
Every conversation I have with him is a good conversation, and then unfortunately a bomb is loaded up into Kiev or someplace, and then I get very angry about it. I think we're going to get the war done. It's tough. I thought that would be, of the 7 that I settled, I thought that would be the easiest.
Settled 7 wars
you never
already.
know what's going to happen.
Okay,
You know, war.
here's the problem.
I have solved at least 7 wars, even though that's definitely not true or quantifiable. But just believe me that 7 wars have definitely been stopped.
With this, you guys, I'm not only lying about, solving all these wars. He's incapable of deducing that Putin is manipulating him, despite CIA and massive military intelligence that has done psychological profiles that Putin is a former KGB agent. He is a dictator. He is a war criminal. He is absolutely going to know how to play you. But he says with a straight face, I don't get it. I'm talking to him on the phone and he's super nice and we get along great. And then the next thing I know, he's bombing Kyiv. And
this is ridiculous.
The fact that nobody around him or that he doesn't realize that we are getting played by Russia because he's so stupid and because he falls prey to superficial flattery so easily tells me that the people behind the scenes running this government, because it's not this guy.
No.
Not this guy with that hand, with those kinks, with those bloodshot eyes, talking about people leaving the garage doors open in Beverly Hills and claiming that he released all of the hostages that Hamas has. He just said that. Nobody's checking that. And he thinks Putin's his friend. This is just an absolute catastrophic nightmare.
It's a catastrophic nightmare because people are dying as a result of the poor leadership in the United States, not only in concentration camps. I keep hearing about the death and ICE custodies going up.
Okay, all right. I think that's the end of the video. Let's keep going through these. I've got like a little over a half a dozen of these videos to get through. In chronological order, we are going through them. Started off a week ago. That one was from 3 days ago. Now let's go to see what Kyle Kulinski had to say about Donald Trump's health. over at Secular Talk. This is from 2 days ago, so I guess Thursday? Kyle, say words.
There's been a lot of talk lately about Trump's health and the fact that he appears to be hiding something. He's definitely hiding something from us because he's been getting injections in his hand, or hands, plural, and we don't know what it is. We don't know what medicine he's taking, right? They're not being upfront with that information. So there's been a lot of chatter about how he looks and what's going on. But guess what, y'all? It is not just a liberal left-wing conspiracy theory where we're out over our skis and we're making stuff up. No, there's a real concern here. And to prove that to you, here is a well-known Trump meat writer extraordinaire, some might say, Alex Jones. And
rid of the Second Amendment.
Listen to what he said on his show the other day.
It could be used to overall hurt our pro-human liberty agenda. In the short term, the long term, honesty is always the best policy. I've seen a lot of signs of Trump declining. The fear that he's getting sick, that who knows what's going on. His ankles are giant. That usually means serious heart decline. I mean, liver failure too. But his eyes aren't yellow. So,
I mean,
he's saying,
well,
I don't know if I'm
Alex,
doing a good job.
Actually, Alex, we just got done looking at pictures where his eyes looked incredibly yellow.
Heart decline. I mean, liver failure too. But his eyes aren't yellow. So, he's saying, I don't know if I'm doing a good job. I don't know if I'm going to get into heaven. I hear I'm not doing a good job. This is the President of the United States calling into Fox News in the morning saying this.
Alex Jones did 30 minutes on this, and I watched it. And this is not like out of context or it's misrepresenting what he's saying. No. He was saying this stuff and then some. He was being clear, like, basically what he was trying to say is like, hey, dog, slow down a little bit. Maybe take an extra day off. Maybe don't work 18-hour days. He's under the illusion that Trump really is, like, still burning the candle at both ends. Like, no matter what he does now, homie's cooked. He's cooked. So, yeah, let's walk through it. The fat ankles. It could potentially mean it's signs of poor circulation, and it could mean congestive heart failure, right? A big thing people are pointing out is the bruises on his hands, which he was using terrible makeup to cover up that didn't even match. That's bruising because he's getting injections there. We don't know what he's getting injections of, but people were showing that the Queen of England, before she passed away, she had those exact same bruises on her hands 2 days before she.
Yes, this is a parallel, which a lot of people seem to be noticing. Also, I'm just going to take a quick moment here to remind people, I noticed a couple in chat without green names, which means there's at least a couple of people here who don't have memberships. And while you could buy one for yourself, you could also turn on memberships and get one gifted to you for free. And currently, we had a mishap happen overnight over the last stream, and where somebody gifted a ton of memberships. They all didn't get gifted out. We're thinking it's possible that it's because people don't have gift memberships enabled. So just enable the memberships. Look into that if you can. It's a quick Google search and it'll explain. It's very easy to get them set up.
2 days. Also, he looks terrible, bro. He looks terrible. He looks like, I don't know, puffy.
Weak.
His eyes have been squinting a lot lately. Clearly, he's dealing with something and he's not fucking telling us. Right? He is not telling us. So, I watch videos. Some people say anywhere between 6 to 9 months is what he might have left. I don't know. Crystal's theory is this motherfucker is going to be with us forever. And honestly, part of me feels like that too. It just feels like he just never goes away. Anytime you think this motherfucker's done and down and out, he just pops right back up. It's like some horror movie type shit. It really is. And so, I don't know. Part of me feels like he ain't going anywhere. But then the fact that Alex Jones is saying this, and then you also got to remember, Alex Jones, he knows people. Alex Jones is, and it sucks to say, but it's true. There are people in the White House that are they're connected to Alex Jones. They're connected to Nick Fuentes, right? Like, he knows people, so he might not just be talking out of his ass here. Now, to be fair, 90% of the time, Alex Jones is talking out of his anus. So there's that. But it's possible he knows something else that we don't know here. And, yeah, I mean, you tell me. You've seen the pictures. You've seen the videos. He looks sort of puffy. His eyes were squinting the other day. He's got bruises on both hands from some sort of injection that he's getting, which means they're putting some sort of medicine in, through his hands in an IV. And they were trying to hide it. Now they can't hide it so well anymore because the makeup didn't match at all. And then when he was caught without the makeup, you could see how bad the bruising was. So I don't know. You guys tell me. Put in the comment section below what do you think it is, what you think he's dealing with. I for sure think he's abused stimulants in his life, and that's coming back to haunt him. I think his heart health is not good. I think that I think it's heart issues. I think he's dealing with heart issues. And it's not surprising because, as I always say, he's obese and he's 79. You don't see many obese 79-year-olds. You just don't. Right? Now, to be fair, the counterpoint to that is usually as people get old, if you have money, like people who are wealthy and old, they somehow find a way to keep living because they can afford whatever sort of treatment they need to extend their life. Right? So, like, Trump's parents died really old. I think in their fucking 90s or some shit. Right? So, it's possible that this is much ado about nothing, but it's also possible that this is some real shit. I will say that if you look at Trump, if you go back to Trump in 2015, 2016, like look at the debates from 2015, 2016, and you compare that guy to now, bro, it is night and day skis. It is not even close, dog. Just look at a picture of Trump in 2015 and 2016 and now. Not only is it physical decline, it's also very clearly extreme cognitive decline. Like, he was way more cogent. And he wasn't the most cogent guy in 2015, 2016, but he was way more cogent than he is now. I mean, now, holy shit. Did you know that here's another fact.
Yeah, it's true. You listen to videos of Donald Trump speaking back in the first election that he ran back in 2015, 2016, like Kyle's talking, but you go to now, he's lost a lot of his energy that he had back then.
To tell you guys this on the show the other day, but the other day he called the White House press pool into the White House to do a press conference 3 times, into the Oval Office to do a press conference 3 times. So he was sitting behind the desk and he was telling them, all right, bring them in, I want to talk to him. And then they come in and he'd do his little press conference. They'd go out 30 minutes later, an hour later, he'd be like, all right, bring him.
People in chat think that Barron Trump is Donald Trump's blood boy. Yeah, that's funny. I like that. That's a good one.
I want to talk to him. Then they come back in. They said, the reporter said, this has never happened in modern history. It's never.
Enigmas never age. Chat is killing it right now.
That a president would call the press people in 3 separate times. And it's almost like he didn't know that, like, oh, I had you in here before. Oh, I had you in here twice before? He didn't know. He was just going through the motions thinking, oh, it's the first time I'm talking to them. Because cognitively, homie's struggling, dog. Cognitively, he's gonzo. He's gone. And it's only going to get worse. So physical health failing him, mental health failing him, even Alex Jones is like...
Get rid of the Second Amendment.
All right. There you go. There's... Well, Kyle Klinsky at Secular Talk reiterating a number of the things that the I've Had It pod ladies were saying, and a couple of other things in there, too, to mull over in our skulls right now amidst this fascinating situation we find ourselves in right now. Let's go back to the I've Had It ladies. This is literally from yesterday. This is 18 hours ago. This is fresh off the presses.
Failed drag queen, smoky eye sociopath, JD, Just Dance Vance, who for expediency and efficiency.
I gotta give her props. Like, I keep forgetting it. It's a Jennifer or Jessica, whatever. Jessica is great with the names. I don't know where she gets it from, but she's just a great shit talker. I don't know, really. It's a skill. It's a skill.
Failed drag queen, smoky eye sociopath, JD Just Dance Vance, who for expediency and efficiency and spite, I will from now on refer to as Lil Smoky, pun intended on the Lil Smoky. He knows, you guys, he knows because they've told Trump, because Trump's talking about, I got to get into heaven. People say I'm not doing well. The dementia's on fleek. We've got muffin top cankles. We've got the bruising on the hands. Everybody in there knows that the curtains are about to close on this guy. And JD Vance is right there, chomping at the bit, ready to get in. Put up this tweet from Newswire. Vance says he's ready to be president while praising Trump's health. This is what they do. Praising Trump's health, but also I'm ready to be president. Right. The MAGA movement is always an exercise in contradiction, and that is on purpose. It is on purpose to say we're the party of law and order. And then you have a convicted felon that pardons felons. They on purpose say, oh, these masked agents, they have to have masks over their face because otherwise they're going to get doxxed. When the biggest doxer on the planet is Donald Trump, that doxes the judiciary, his opponents, anybody that speaks out against him. And Little Smokey is escalating the gaslighting, and he is going after Mamdani. Zoran Mamdani.
Are they calling him Little Smokey because of the eyeliner? Little Smokey. Little Smokey JD.
Escalating the gaslighting, and he is going after Mamdani. Zoran Mamdani in New York. Play the video.
Does Mamdani, when you hear him speak, is this a man who feels
Mamdani.
Zohran Mamdani. Zohran Mamdani.
That's how you say it. Okay, that's how we say it around here. Zohran Mamdani.
Play the video.
Does Mamdani, when you hear him speak, is this a man who feels gratitude for the United States of America? Is this a man who feels grateful for all of the opportunities, the incredible bounty of this country? I don't know the guy, but my sense is he's had a very good life in this country. It would be nice for him to occasionally show a sense of gratitude instead of just attacking the United States for all of its problems. You bring up
Pumps ripping.
I'm so confused on why JD Vance thinks everybody needs to thank him all the time. What in the fuck is he talking about? Zelensky didn't say thank you. Mamdani doesn't say thank you. Like, shut up. You betrayed your city. I'm sorry, your state when you wrote Hillbilly Elegy and did all that. Then you ran out and got queer-eyed by Peter Thiel. You can't fucking wait for Donald Trump to die, JD Vance. This was all part of the oligarchy plan, and you're in there doing the bidding. So he's praising Trump's health as he has a hard dick about ascending to the presidency.
Has he ever been grateful for immigration, that he got a wife he maybe allegedly loves?
Allegedly. That's a good point, though. Usha. Second generation Indian immigrant.
That he got a wife he maybe allegedly loves. I don't know. I've heard him kind of talk about it's not her problem that she's white. Has he not been grateful for multiculturalism, that he has multicultural children? I've never heard any gratitude about that. All I've heard him is demean immigrants.
Exactly.
All I've heard is him.
How rude.
Where is JD Vance's gratitude for this goddamn country?
Prop up thinly veiled racist attacks. All I've seen him do is support criminals. All I've seen him do is try to uphold the erosion of the rule of law. This guy, it's projection because he has no gratitude for anything because he hasn't had to work hard. He got he had a net worth pumps $1 million from Hillbilly Elegy. Peter Thiel and the other evil oligarchs needed someone that they could own. They take JD Vance. Now he's worth over $10 million. He is nothing short of a little smoky sociopath prostitute. That's just what he is, like so many politicians. And here's Little Smokey, this guy who there is video after video after video of him describing how Trump is corrupt, how he's crazy, how he's a threat to democracy. And JD Vance has the gall and the audacity to get on camera and talk about authenticity. And
Awful, awful, awful. Weak, weak, weak.
Let's sink in. He is the most inauthentic prostitute in the American government right now. Lil Smokey is. And he has the fucking audacity to speak about authenticity as though he is an expert on it. Play the clip.
Up humor. Gavin Newsom sure thinks he's a comedian these days on social media, and so does much of the left. His polling numbers have gone way up since he started mimicking President Trump on social media.
Yeah.
What do you make of Governor Newsom?
I make of Governor Newsom that you said he's mimicking Donald Trump, and I think that's exactly right. The lesson of Donald Trump, the lesson of President Trump in American politics is you've got to be authentic to yourself. And when I see Gavin Newsom trying
JD Vance saying that you have to be authentic is hilarious to me. That shit is funny.
Give me a joke.
Seriously, give me a joke.
Trump in American politics is you've got to be authentic to yourself. And when I see Gavin Newsom trying to act like Donald Trump, that's the opposite of authenticity. He's not trying to be Gavin Newsom, whoever that is. He's trying to be
whoever that is,
copy of Donald Trump, and it just doesn't work. You can't mimic the king. You can't mimic the master. You ought to just go and be yourself. And I think that the American people would like that a lot more than a cheap imitation of the President of the United States.
Move over, Elvis. We got a new king in town.
Go and be yourself, and I think that the American people would like that a lot more than a cheap imitation of the President of the United States.
Okay, nobody is trying to mimic Donald Trump more than Lil Smokey. And furthermore, Gavin Newsom is not.
Can anybody tell me if her name is Jessica or Jennifer? I keep calling her Jessica, but I don't actually know her name. But with the little Smokey, Jessica is going to speak Little Smokey into existence. That's becoming his new name, I think. I mean, we've been calling him Couchfucker for a while, but Little Smokey's pretty great. He does rock that smoky eye mascara. Really seems to have an affinity for that.
Mimicking. He's mocking relentlessly, and it is a layup, and his approval ratings are rising. But JD Vance, everything that he said there, the lack of self-awareness and the statement that you and I say a lot, Pumps, you can't shame the shameless. That's why he's our Lil Smokey sociopath. This is a man that is a failed drag queen. He tried to be a drag queen. Pictures are all over the internet. He failed at it. So what does he do? He starts hating what he didn't have the authenticity to be or the courage to be. This man is evil. He is more organized and more ambitious than Donald Trump. He's more connected with people who have far more nefarious intents. And he is waiting in the lurch, ready to pounce into the presidency. And I believe, viewer, they know Kanks is about to drop dead. Alex Jones gives him within 12 months, which I think is generous. And they have to militarize and get big balls and all these other freaks close to all the voting machines so that they can do whatever they can to keep their evil super majority. And think about this, Pumps. This is what drives me fucking crazy growing up in a Republican red state our whole lives.
I like Pumps' glasses, by the way. These things are crushing it. Something about them, just killing it.
Pumps. This is what drives me fucking crazy growing up in a Republican red state our whole lives. The founders, the Constitution, freedom, America, land of opportunity, all that shit, they never talk about anymore because that's not what they want anymore. They want a dictatorship. They want to control thought. They want to control other humans.
This is the very definition of totalitarianism.
Anymore. They want a dictatorship. They want to control thought. They want to control other human beings.
They want to control it for everyone other than white men with money. And let's just remember, Usha Vance is a second-generation immigrant. But here's a couple things I just want to say. JD Vance, were you authentic when you called Trump America's Hitler? Are you authentic now that you kiss his ass? And JD Vance, are you thankful for Sephora? Are you thankful every day you called out thank you for eyeliner? Because where is the fucking gratitude for Sephora?
That's a great point. Where is the gratitude for Sephora, the great American company? Come on, JD. Fuck yeah! Where is your appreciation for the great capitalist company that is Sephora? Jessica's loving it over here. Oh, her name is Jennifer. I see chat telling me her name is Jennifer. Okay, all right, Jennifer. Thank you for the for that.
Thank you for eyeliner, because where is the fucking gratitude for Sephora? I've had it.
Oh my God, Pups, that's so good. He has no gratitude.
No gratitude for Sephora.
And he wears it every day. This man is a failed drag queen, and he sits and, God only knows what he had to do with Peter Thiel to increase his net worth.
Oh, well, I think we can all figure it out.
Yeah. And let's just remember, you guys, this is the party that crashed Grindr twice. This is the party whose leader tried to give a microphone a blowjob. This is a party whose leader, who's so authentic, was Trump authentic when he was talking about the size of Arnold Palmer's cock with glee and utter excitement. I mean, literally foaming at the mouth. He's so excited. It's unbelievable, these people. And it's not the gay stuff. It's not the bisexual stuff. It's not the eyeliner. We support all of that. Freedom of expression. We actually believe in that. It's the hypocrisy and being cruel to people that in secret you truly are. Lastly, the Lincoln Project is still around, and they know how to occupy real estate in the MAGA movement because they used to be Republicans. And they got to Trump, and it was an absolute no. And they're making videos like this about Little Smokey and Kanks.
Little Smokey.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to...
Jennifer is going to speak Little Smokey into existence.
About Little Smokey and Kanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to announce that Senator J.D. Vance has the overwhelming support of this convention to be the next Vice President of the United States.
Who has heard the poem called The Snake? On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake.
I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious.
She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite.
Fellow Christians, everyone is watching us when we apologize for this, man. Lord, help us.
I have saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, heavens why?
That he was fundamentally divisive, arrogant.
You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die.
He's leading our political discourse to a very negative place.
Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin.
Might be America's Hitler, might be a cynical a-hole.
You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
Here's the thing. Trump is the most paranoid motherfucker on the planet. And we know authoritarians surround themselves with incompetent people because that means they can still be the star. This shit with Trump is going to make.
This is the very definition of totalitarianism.
That means they can still be the star. This shit with Trump is going to make him crazy. And here's the thing. With Vance, and now Vance is coming out saying this is going to make Trump bananas, and I'm here for it.
I'm 100% here for it. We are set. Kanks, we need to keep highlighting what J.D. Vance is doing and who he's colluding with, because he is an inauthentic little snake. All right, that's all we have for today. Like and subscribe. We'll see you all later.
Yeah, and if you're watching the stream right now and you're enjoying it at all, do consider liking and subscribing to this stream right here, the Galactic News Network. The stream which your eyes and ears are hopefully enjoying right now. A lot of great ways, of course, for you to show support for the stream. YouTube, super chat, super stickers, memberships. You get 18 sweet galactic emotes with a $3 a month membership. Pretty great. We also have Patreon, Cash App, and PayPal, too, for other ways of donating. Get different benefits over on Patreon. All right, let's go here. This is more about J.D. Vance saying that he's ready to be president.
Immediately, if not sooner.
This is from 16 hours ago.
And back here in Washington, Vice President J.D. Vance stepped forward and said that he's ready to take charge as president if the need arises. On Thursday, Vance, in an interview with USA Today, said that while President Trump is in great health, he is fully prepared to take over in case of a tragedy. The statement comes just days after images of President Trump's bruised hand sparked fresh speculation about his condition. The bruise was first noticed in July, but was carefully covered with makeup, which eventually drew more attention. Now, addressing concerns about Donald Trump's health, J.D. Vance said that the president is in incredibly good health and he's got incredible energy. He says Trump is strong, sharp, and ready to finish the term, but in the same breath, he says he's ready to take charge after receiving the best on-the-job training as vice president.
I feel very confident the President of the United States is in good shape, is going to serve out the remainder of his term and do great things for the American people. And if, God forbid, there's a terrible tragedy, I can't think of better on-the-job training than what I've gotten over the last 200 days.
Recently, President Trump was seen with a bruise on his hand during his meeting with South Korea's president. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt frequently blamed the forceful handshakes and the president's use of aspirin, which is behind the bruise. She even praised the president for meeting.
That's so cute. Donald Trump's little feeble little hands can't handle handshakes. It's adorable.
More Americans face to face than any leader in history.
President Trump is a man of the people, and he meets more Americans and shakes their hands on a daily basis than any other president in history. His commitment is unwavering, and he proves that every single day.
Now, earlier, the White House confirmed that Trump had been diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency. The diagnosis was made in July after photos and videos of the president went viral, which showed visible swelling of his lower legs.
In recent weeks, President Trump noted mild swelling in his lower legs. In keeping with routine medical care and out of an abundance of caution, this concern was thoroughly evaluated by the White House medical unit. The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70.
Donald Trump, now 79 years old, is the oldest person to ever take the oath of office in American history. Older than former President Joe Biden, who was forced to step aside during the 2024 race, withdrawing over concerns about his health. During the interview, J.D. Vance also commented on Trump's distinctive style of decorating the White House and said he likes the way the Oval Office looks. Trump earlier this month.
Oh, it's a great office. It's a great office. Everybody loves it. Everybody thinks it's a great, great office. Really, really shiny. You go in there, you gotta put on sunglasses or you'll be blinded by all the shiny. Okay, let's keep this moving. All right, now we're going to a channel that we have never gone to, not one single time. And that's on purpose. And today I find myself in a bit of a quandary because he's one of the only people that seems to be covering Donald Trump's disappearance on YouTube, which is where I get most of my clips from because it's just the most convenient for me. But prepare yourselves, some of you in chat, for this crypto shill and rabid Zionist, but dude with the clip for today, one David Pakman. I forgot to put in there background thief. Sorry. Crypto shill, background thief, and rabid Zionist David Pakman.
Is Donald Trump alive right now? I don't think I'm asking the question literally. I mean, he probably is. But where is Trump? Donald Trump has not been seen publicly for 3 days on video since that disaster cabinet meeting from Tuesday. I put out a tweet. I put out a a Blue Sky post, a Substack note earlier saying, has anyone seen Donald Trump on video over the last 3 days? I looked through all of the replies and There is no video of Donald Trump from the last 3 days. The White House put out a tweet with a picture of Trump in the Oval Office because of some new knick-knack or tchotchke that they have in there. But of course, that picture could be from any time. Donald Trump's Truth Social account put out a couple of posts. Of course, these could have been written by anybody. And at least one of them strangely uses the M dash, typically associated with ChatGPT writing. Another one uses the...
Now, one thing I wanted to do here, because I actually watched this one already. I just wanted to try and do this in my Trump voice and see if it feels right. You know, I read out a lot of Donald Trump tweets, and I feel like it'll at least give me some inkling. Now, of course, I'm fairly certain Donald Trump has this thing usually. To some degree, some other people do have access to this account. Let's see. All caps, great Governor Mike Kehoe of the capital W, capital S, wonderful state of Missouri, which I love and won, all caps 6 times, including with massive spaces. What's up with that? Okay, that's weird. That is really weird. What is up with these random massive spaces? With space. 1.8 million votes in 2024. Parentheses, by far the most capital V votes in capital H history. Aside from the weird spacing, I mean, the vibe of it certainly kind of checks out.
Typically associated with ChatGPT writing. Another one uses the word literally, not something that Donald Trump does in his Truth Social posts. And then we have news of the temporary flight restriction known as a TF.
Yeah, I do got to say, this one looks weird. This one, there's something about this one that looks weird, and I don't know what, I can't put my finger on it.
Posts. And then we have news of the temporary flight restriction known as a TFR. Donald Trump was scheduled to fly to New Jersey tonight to deliver some remarks. A TFR was filed with air traffic control, and then the TFR was canceled, which suggests that Donald Trump is not going, even though nothing publicly as of this moment has been said as to why he's not going or why this has been canceled. This is all fueling speculation. Where is Donald Trump at this point in time? We have now had weeks of growing concern about Donald Trump's health, of course. Some dubbing him Cankles Caligula because of the swollen ankles. He then had bruises on his right hand, which he covered up with very obvious makeup, and we were told it's because of vigorous handshaking. He's shaking so many people's hands, but then bruises appeared on his left hand as well. Trump doesn't shake hands with his left hand. So this is not about conspiracy. This is not about, I have reason to believe Trump is dead. This is about circumstances.
Okay, that's enough Pac-Man for today. Oh my God, that was 2 minutes too much of Pac-Man. But like I said, he's one of the only people that I saw videos on the old YouTubes talking about this that I could find that I was even vaguely familiar with. This was the next person that got recommended to me when searching for vids on this. Ugh, I feel sticky after watching that Pac-Man video. Gross. Okay. All right. Sorry, everyone, for that. Let's go here. This is somebody's YouTube channel. Advice from Lewis posted this 5 hours ago. It's like a reaction vid of some sort.
Donald Trump has been missing for 3 days and people are speculating he's dead.
What happened?
Nobody has seen or heard from Donald Trump in 3 days, not one press conference. And no one at the White House has seen him or heard from him. So all over social media, Trump is dead is trending and people are asking what happened to Trump. It's very unfortunate.
Should we not jump to conclusions and give it more time?
It's just that people have noticed Trump's declining health. The same rash he has on his hand is the same one Queen Elizabeth had before she perished. It was 2 days after everybody saw it in a photo. Even J.D. Vance said he's ready to be president in case Trump died. And that he's prepared.
J.D. Vance?
Yeah! However, Trump put put out a post on Truth Social yesterday, so some people are saying, how could he have passed if he put out that post?
If he just put out a post yesterday, that means he's fine, right?
That's what I said, but the post doesn't even sound like him. Missing all of his exclamation marks, his excessive commas, his excessive caps lock sentences, and he didn't mention radical left lunatics one time. People in the comments are saying it sounds like Stephen Miller, and someone asked AI. Even AI said it didn't sound like Trump, and it sounds unusual because it's way too formal. But nobody knows for sure. So while many people are celebrating, others are mourning the possibility.
Oh God, I hope he's all right.
Just give it more time.
I haven't heard from the master in 3 days.
Just give it more time.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, that's the last video I have, but we're not done on this. I'm going to pull up this now. I've been waiting for this. Okay, let's go here. We'll start with this article. Where am I? Boop. There I am. Okay. This is NDTV World. Trump is dead, quote unquote. After J.D. Vance's terrible tragedy remark, a viral trend. Was it sparked by concerns over his health? Or is it tied to recent remarks from Vice President J.D. Vance and The Simpsons creator Matt Groening? Wait, what is happening? Why is my browser doing weird things? Oh, there we go. It's working. No, it's not working. What is happening? God damn it. What is my browser doing? For the love of God. Oh, and now it's working. Okay, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Okay, New Delhi. U.S. President Donald Trump has been trending on X, formerly Twitter, for a couple of days, but not for his usual political moves. Announcement of tariffs, or off-the-cuff remarks. Posts with the phrase, quote, Trump is dead, unquote, took over the platform and made the digital world look for confirmations and reasons why it was going viral. Was it sparked by concerns over his health, or is it tied to recent remarks from Vice President J.D. Vance and The Simpsons creator Matt Groening? The phrase became a trend days after Vance was asked in an exclusive interview with USA Today on August 27th if he was prepared to step into the role of commander-in-chief should a terrible tragedy strike. Stressing that the 79-year-old was fit and energetic, Vance said that unforeseen events could not be ruled out. Oh, God. That sounds very cryptic. Quote, he's the last person making phone calls at night, and he's the first person who wakes up and the first person making phone calls in the morning, unquote, Vance told USA Today. He added, quote, yes, terrible tragedies happen, but I feel very confident the President of the United States is in good shape, is going to serve out the remainder of his term and do great things for the American people. And if, God forbid, there's a terrible tragedy, I can't think of a better on-the-job training than what I've gotten over the last 200 days, unquote. Vance's comments on the line of succession may have sparked the trend. Trump has also faced health concerns recently. In July, the White House confirmed he has chronic venous insufficiency, a vein condition that causes leg swelling. Even before the official announcement was made, photos of his visibly swollen legs sparked speculation. Trump also survived 2 assassination attempts while campaigning, and who gives a shit? The Simpsons factor. The chatter was amplified by The Simpsons creator Matt Groening's remarks at a San Diego Comic-Con in July. As reported by Euronews, citing Variety, the creator of the long-running animated series said that there was, quote, no end in sight, unquote, for the show. But linked its eventual conclusion to Donald Trump's death. Quote, no, there's no end in sight. We're going to keep going. We're going to go until somebody dies, unquote, Groening said. He then added a line that immediately set social media alight. Quote, when you know who dies, when you know who dies, The Simpsons predicts that there will be dancing in the streets, except President J.D. Vance will ban dancing.
Illegal.
Unquote. The show has a long history of eerily accurate predictions about Trump, from his election victory in 2000 to a re-election storyline in 2015. All right, that's the end of that article. Let's go over here. This is the Economic Times news published last night at 9:30. Trump dead rumors. And White House offered head-scratching excuse for president's new bruise amid health concerns. There's that photo. U.S. President Donald Trump is trending all over social media on Saturday, and this is not due to his usual political moves, announcements of tariffs, or off-the-cuff remarks. Trump's health has been spotlight for quite some time now, and things escalated today when term, quote, Trump is dead, unquote, swept the social media platform, sparking frenzy among netizens, prompting them to scroll frantically for a clarification. Was it sparked by concerns over his health, or is it tied to recent remarks from Vice President J.D. Vance and Simpsons creator Matt Groening? All right, this is basically the same article as the other one. Let's now move on here. Reddit. Let's see what Reddit's saying. So apparently, this is in r/5051. So apparently, Twitter thinks Trump might be dead. That's the title of this post. Copy-pasted from a friend. POTUS hasn't been seen yesterday, wasn't seen today, and has no public event scheduled this weekend. He hasn't even been seen in public since Wednesday, and we don't know if he'll be seen in public until Tuesday. Rumors are circulating that he's died. Twitter is having a heyday, and after a federal appeals court ruled 7-4 today that POTUS's tariffs are unconstitutional,
illegal,
as they violate Congress's authority over the purse and the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, are joking that POTUS saw the ruling and immediately fucking killed himself.
illegal.
Edit. I got Reddit cared for this, so someone's pissed. Wow. Don't go getting my hopes up. Look at this gif. Oh my god, they got this. They got the ending of Empire Strikes Back gifs going. If it's true, I would absolutely get in an Ewok costume for this. Don't give me hope. That's from was a Cyberpunk, right? No, not Cyberpunk. But Blade Runner? Oh, my brain just broke. Not able to caps lock on Turd Social must have taken a toll. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Unfortunately for the rest of us, he's only mostly dead.
Aww.
Then it goes to the Princess Bride. He's only mostly dead. Top 1% commenter. Automatic Unit 8307. That would explain why JD just said he was ready to take over. I was like, why is he saying that? Like, take over what?
What? What you talking about?
That's my question in all this. What the hell was that coming out of nowhere? These guys are never subtle about anything. I think he might know something. This guy thinks he's just being lazy, unfortunately. Yeah, like, why are people so shocked the most notoriously lazy POTUS is nowhere to be seen during the Labor Day weekend?
Awful. Weak.
My daughter just informed me of this. Since I'm not on Twitter, I'll believe it when I see it. No one in the mainstream press is saying anything about it. I'm guessing Trump is in the hospital recovering from an incident of some sort. Most of the older people I've known usually go through a number of scares, months or sometimes a few years before finally dying. On the other hand, Vance said he's ready to take over, which is pretty blunt and cold-blooded. Maybe he'd know something that we don't. Miss Vandy, I will laugh my ass off when Biden outlives that fat fuck.
I'm staying in the race.
Jake Tapper can write another book about it. Okay, Miss Vandy killed it with that comment. Jake Tapper can write another book about it. Well played, Bam. Well played. Dominoes next to the Pentagon. Oh my god, wait, what? He's checking the dominoes in the Pentagon. Oh my god, is that true? Suddenly busier than usual? Oh god. That's a telltale sign I've heard of in the past, a metric which people tried to use to determine what's happening. Oh my god. Look at that spike. Look at that spike. Oh my god. Much busier than usual. Holy shit, that Domino's is busy as fuck. Fjord focus. No fucking way. This is weirdly indicative of something happening. I'm not saying Trump is dead, but this is so weirdly eyebrow raising. Lot of Twilight Zone moments here tonight. I mean, this morning, whatever time it is. I still haven't gone to bed since last night's stream. I'm out of control. There's no way his narcissistic ass would take his own life, but maybe he had a stroke or a heart attack. Clots and prayers. Jokes. This Reddit's got some frickin' jokes. If Trump should die before I wake, I pray to God the news ain't fake. Oh God, that's art. That is art. That is poetry right there. That is Def Jam style poetry of the highest order. They are digging in the DC sewers for a fatberg to use as a replacement. Oh my God.
That's too much, man!
Wasn't Trump also talking about how he hoped to get into heaven fairly recently, too? That's true. He was talking about that. He was talking about heaven. Like Donald Trump would get past the Golden Gates. That's ridiculous.
This is ridiculous!
And anyone know what and where JD is? That was 7 hours ago. It's a holiday weekend. He's probably golfing. That's usually pretty well known if he is golfing. That being said, I'm not buying any theories. Yeah, that's true. We all know. When Donald Trump hits the golf course, we all know. It comes out immediately, if not sooner.
Immediately, if not sooner.
Oh, this one's got a shit ton of replies. 22 replies. Anyone know what and where JD is? I'm sure he will have an alibi. Those couches weren't fucking themselves. Reading books to children, likely. Possibly rolling out an illustrated kids version of Hillbilly Elegy. Or maybe boring them to tears with Ayn Rand. Remember when he didn't siphon the last... Remember when he definitely didn't siphon the last life essence from the Pope? I remember that. We were talking about that. JD already has practiced assassinating public figures. The Pope is dead because of him. No more woke Pope. Pope Leo gone. It's all because of JD. This guy, I mean, he definitely killed the Pope. Founder of Shoney's. Maybe he's having some work done? A hand enlargement, perhaps? He's going to come out looking like Uncle Jack from It's Always Sunny. It's going to...
I got boxes full of Pepe!
It's going to come out looking like Uncle Jack. Just in case anybody here is unfamiliar with that reference, this is what they're talking about. Oh, I love thinking about that. Donald Trump comes out with just giant hands. Look, you're all saying I had small hands. Look at these babies. Look at how big these puppies are. These are small? These are the biggest hands anyone's ever seen.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
He's fine and he's loving the speculation. Release the Epstein files. Bad retired fairy. Okay, bad retired fairy. Anyone remember Kim Jong-un disappearing from during COVID and everyone speculated he was dead? I do remember that. I do remember that. What is this? 4:23 p.m. today, August 29th, Friday, outside of D.C., an ambulance flanked by 20 motorcycle cops and a Secret Service car was spotted by my niece as they passed at very high speed. My God. This was posted at 4 a.m., so it could be completely farcical. And honestly, the time isn't necessarily indicative of whether or not it's true. But that is a fascinating detail. They posted that picture and then just said, just gonna leave this here. Okay, thank you. Did his schedule get cleared suddenly, or has there been nothing scheduled for a while? He was supposed to fly to New Jersey on Thursday, but it was canceled with no explanation. Oh my God. The speculation is going wild. He had plans and canceled them. He had a routine trip to Bedminster for this weekend that was canceled. That's his weekend golfing trip. Donald Trump canceling his weekend golfing trip? Do you know how many times Donald Trump has gone golfing this presidency? He would never miss golf. It's all very strange. 2 days ago was when Vance said he was ready to take over if something bad happens. Is this like the late Pope? Did Vance have a 15-minute audience with Trump? Then it's just a photo of troops reading newspapers that say Hitler dead. This Reddit thread is on fire. I don't believe his death will stop this hell coaster that we're on. Very pessimistic, sir. Won't stop it, but hopefully slow it down. Yep, I think that's a fair point. It would absolutely slow it down. It's impossible to argue anything else, in my opinion. Moped Marxist. As a rule, try not to live a life where people will have a full-on celebration when you die. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. You might want to try and be a little bit better of a person.
Aren't I a good guy?
Let's go, heart disease. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Oh my God. This Reddit is fucking hilarious. There was an angry post on Trump's social media account in response to the tariff ruling. Then again, Herman Cain was tweeting about the threat of COVID being exaggerated after he died of COVID. So you never know. I forgot about Herman Cain. I forgot about the ghost tweet on Herman Cain's account. Oh my God. Nah, that's not Trump himself. That's someone who's trying to write in his style. I can't explain why, but you can always tell when it's actually him. I'm not saying anything is wrong, to be clear, because probably one of three posts from Trump aren't actually written by him. This is spot on. The tone is way off. I've never heard him use the word partisan ever. He prefers crooked, radical, and extremist. It's absolutely true. Extremist and radical are some of his very favorite descriptive words. Like a great tribute to the incredible huckster that you won't want to miss, or Christina Bob's new book, Defiant, is a must-read. When he hasn't read a book in his life and wouldn't use an apostrophe and quote marks correctly like that, those are not him. It's pre-scheduled PR. He's just at Mar-a-Lago icing his fat fucking cankles. They're acting up again from too much KFC and fascism.
This is the very definition of totalitarianism.
Could be dialysis. He's not taking needles well these days based on the bruising. So if you have to hook him up to any serious IVs, he likely won't be physically capable of much. And of course his brain has always been spoiled banana pudding. Being the RD, the thing about dialysis is that we don't go near the hand. He would either have a CVC catheter coming from his chest, but more likely he would have a fistula or graft somewhere on his arm, assuming all the decades of drug use didn't make them incapable of handling a... Decades of drug use? Does this person know what they're talking about? And Trump's never... I don't think Donald Trump has ever gotten into needles. Has he? I'd never heard that accusation. Isn't Trump like a teetotaler? Like aside from like amphetamines, like uppers, like Sudafed or whatever else, like I've heard that he's just a teetotaler. On a personal level, this would be nuts if true. I startled awake at like 1 a.m. on Thursday, convinced that he just died. I even checked Reddit. That's the first place to go to check news, of course. What a way to discover you have prophetic dreams. If it turns out to be a premonition, message me. I would like to be your friend. I'm not going to forget this comment if he's gone. I had the idea of wanting to download a certain pair of comedy films as a good luck charm for our country in the Epstein Files release. This was on Sunday evening / Monday. Unfortunately, my darling comments left me banned on news and politics this week. Something big is definitely happening. If this turns out to be true later, I'm coming back to get you a gift. I'm gonna squirt, Loki. Jesus Christ.
I cannot believe how people come for you already. I don't know if you know this.
The bathtub pooper. The line to piss on his grave is going to stretch all the way to Canada. Oh, Canada. This would cause a new lake to form. That's fair. That's fair. At least a pond. At least a medium-sized pond. Republicans still control all three branches. Trump would absolutely be voted by the party to be laid in state and a million things named after him. Streets in L.A. Should have died after the midterms. Kick his party to a minority if he dies now. JFK in New York will be renamed GJT, and his reminder of his shitty existence will be plastered everywhere until I die of old age. Wow, there's a pessimistic view from that Reddit poster. Dreamy Revolution just posts. Is it Backstreet? Yeah, this is Backstreet Boys. Quit playing games with my heart. Please don't threaten us with such a good time, but seriously, it might be why that Vance is ready BS leak today. Some of these memes are classic in here right now. What is this one from? I can't even make this out. Oh, I cannot think of what movie that is. Oh my god. All right, let's go here. He posted a truth at 5:10 p.m. today, but if Gavin Newsom can fake it, I'm sure a Trump aide could too. Good point. He hasn't been since that train wreck White House meeting. He was supposed to give a speech tonight. Airlines even had airspace restricted, and then suddenly everything canceled. The real test? If he's not out golfing tomorrow, then you've got your answer. Yeah. Yeah. Have to keep our eyes on the golf course. Keep our eyes out for Keep Fighting guy. Labor Day 2020, Saturday, Sunday, Golf Labor Day 2019. Monday, Golf Labor Day 2018. Saturday, Sunday, Golf Labor Day 2017. Flurry of events due to Hurricane Harvey in Texas on Saturday, one phone call on Sunday, and nada on Monday. If we don't see him once this weekend, I think we have a weekend at Bernie's situation. If we have a weekend at Bernie's situation, we got a real problem.
Illegal.
That's super. That's hella illegal. You can't weekend at Bernie's the presidency, okay? That's... That's
too much, man.
God did that. I believe that. He will die like Elvis, shitting on a toilet. No, he won't. He wear diapers. Elvis was reading when he died. Trump only reads Mein Kampf. Out of curiosity, what was he reading? Good question. Just another distraction from Trump. No one is talking about Epstein. Welp, dying would be one way to escape the scandal. That's true. Don't threaten me with a good time. A lot of these posts here on Reddit. I've seen like at least a dozen don't threaten me with a good times in this thread. Hurry up, Kenko man. This champagne has been on ice for a long time. Apparently, Trump was supposed to fly into New Jersey this weekend as temporary flight restriction was announced, but this person is saying that Trump is no longer coming this weekend. I live in D.C. I will start the party. Oh, God. Well, this is just a fantastic situation we got going on here. Quite a way to start this weekend here. I'm not going to go through the whole Reddit thread. I don't think I have it in me to do that. But let's go here to X real quick. This is on channel's Twitter account called Nexta TV. Trump disappears from public view for several days, highly unusual for him. The absence has fueled a surge of conspiracy theories in the United States, with rumor mongers spreading claims of Trump's death. One of their arguments is J.D. Vance's remark that he is ready to replace Trump if, quote, something happens. The president has not been seen in public since Tuesday, and observers noted a strange mark on his hand similar to the one Queen Elizabeth II had shortly before her death. Adding to the frenzy, a nearby pizzeria has reported a sharp spike in orders. The so-called pizza index, seen by conspiracy circles as a sign of emergencies. Officially, none of this has been commented on, and there is no evidence of the U.S. president's death. It is also possible Trump simply took a sudden break to play golf. Still, as an aging leader, his health has been a subject of speculation and public debate.
As vice president, you're a heartbeat away from the presidency, and your boss is one of the oldest people to ever be sworn into office. You're one of the youngest people to ever be second in line. Are you ready to assume the role of commander-in-chief, and why should Americans trust you to lead the country?
Well, I've gotten a lot of good on-the-job training over the last 200 days, but also say that the president is in incredibly good health. He's got incredible energy. And while most of the people who work around the president of the United States are younger than he is, I think that we find that he actually is the last person who goes to sleep. He's the last person making phone calls at night, and he's the first person who wakes up and the first person making phone calls in the morning. So yes, things can always happen. Yes, terrible tragedies happen, but I feel very confident the President of the United States is in good shape, is going to serve out the remainder of his term and do great things for the American people. And if, God forbid, there's a terrible tragedy, I can't think of better on-the-job training than what I've gotten over the last 200 days.
Wow. What a way to start the weekend, people. Pretty wild stuff. I want to remind everybody, if you enjoyed this, click like and subscribe. Really helps us out. Also, consider becoming a member on YouTube or a patron on Patreon. They both only cost $3 a month, and both provide super sweet space benefits unseen by the rest of the goddamn Milky Way galaxy. So what are you waiting for, Space Fams? You'll be getting space benefits for 10 cents a day. All right, everybody. That's going to be it. 2 streams back to back. And I'm going to do a Saturn Day stream a little later. I just need to take a nap. We're going to do a patron drive today. And like other Patreon subathons that we've done in the past, existing patrons and patrons, people who decide to become patrons during the stream are going to be able to recommend videos for us to watch live on stream in the Discord server. So if you're not in the Discord server, get in there. If one of the mods could put the link in chat, that would be super helpful. Otherwise, I can do it myself, I suppose. Otherwise, I will be looking forward to seeing you all later today. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. That's going to be it for me today. Until I see you next, you stay classy, Galactic Stream Nation. Can't forget this. Whoopsies. Can't forget this. These are your galactic patrons. Gabby, Goth Dogs, Aaron W., Schmegley, PB, Midi, Afroponics, Narwhal by Nature, Interplanet Janet, Godcat, Robot Cat, Disco Wolf, Callie Braiding, Sammy, Geodragon, The Anti-Corporatist, Obsessive Audio, Moanoap, Nadia, Choki, Scouts, Selena, Mrs. Jen, Omega Star, Sasha G, Pitchforks Dragon, Vincent Morales, Donald James X, Evan from Portland, lovely Raya, Mish, Becky, D Cypher, Icebreaker, Columbia, Rican, New York, Will in Detroit, Sisyphean Task, BC, and Free Palestine. That's right, all these people here have helped produce a show which your eyes and ears just got done enjoying. You can too for just a few US dollars a month on Patreon.
Are you not entertained?